Alright. Welcome to another one about my Stump Spoiled Tanks Xbox One replays. Platooned up with a Grey Joe. We're on Northwest, and we're in the 112s. So, you know, Northwest is a pretty big map. 112s, yeah, they can hold their own for the most part. But we get right down in the middle, and Joe does the honey badger stuff as usual, and gets way up in front. And I kind of sit back a little bit and back him up, which works out for me and not so well for him. But there's not much I can do. We're in a position where I couldn't pull forward anymore. I would have got killed. So, you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of, you want to do better, but just sometimes you can't. Sometimes you're in a situation where you can't do what you want to do, and that's just how it works out. So we're trying to decide which way we're going to go, and the honey badger says this way. So alright, we'll go this way. And again, we're going underneath the ridge behind us, so if there's a couple tanks up there, they should be able to cover us somewhat, as long as they're up there and, you know, trying to cover us. If they're not up there trying to help us, then we could be in a world of hurt. So, and it depends on how many of the red tanks go to the ridge out in front of us right here. So, you know, it's a lot of ifs in this game. But I'm very cautious, as people that watch my channel know, and you see I stop, because they start popping up on the map, and Joe goes right down to the buildings, down to the town, and so at this point, I'm like, ugh, look at them. There's a bunch of them up there. I get spotted. I try to put a shot into that T-20, and we stick one into him. It's time to start wiggling because I've got spotted, and I know there's enough of them up there that they're probably going to start doing this to me. I get tracked. Throw another shot at the T-20, and of course it goes low, fully aimed. But then again, you know, it does have quite a big reticle there, so. And we get tracked a couple more times, and bounce and track, and bounce off his turret. I fixed the track because I'm assuming, oh no, the track got fixed by itself. I'm assuming we're just going to keep on getting tracked here. Again and again and again. And eventually some of these shots are going to start penetrating. So I get penned right there, and I know that there's a bigger gun shooting at me. I've got to back up a little bit. I don't like using my repair kit at that point, but right there, it just, you know, as long as all the small tanks were bouncing off me, it wasn't a big deal. You know, once I get a little bit of damage out of me, I got to back up, because there's bound to be bigger guns sitting up there, and if a tank could keep me perma-tracked right there, then, you know, it's not going to be good. Take a shot at that T-25, and we hit the ground. It was on an auto lock. Yeah, I don't know. The mechanics of this game sometimes just bug me. You know, I am a person that feels, for any bit of reality, that when a shell comes out of a gun like this, the first 100 meters, it should be spot on. There should be no variation. A minimum of 100 meters. 375 and took his ammo rack out. Yeah, when a bullet or anything comes out of a gun, it does not deviate left or right or up or down. It deviates because of gravity and wind. It doesn't deviate because, you know, right at the end of the barrel there's a little nick and it throws the shell off. It just doesn't do that. The factors that make a bullet or a shell deviate: gravity, wind, and the weight of the shell. So, ooh, Chaffee. This is one of the ones that kept on keep me permanent tracked, and he's out of the game now. But there's no way that a shell coming out of a barrel that's 12 feet long goes off in the first 100 feet, 100 meters, 300 feet. It just doesn't. It's over a long distance it would. So when you get this Wargaming's version of, RNG can be either 413 out of the T32. RNG can either be, spot on or any place in that reticle. That's bullshit. Okay, at this distance, 364 meters, yes, I understand it may go high or low. I get it. But when I'm aiming at this tank, my point was this hill right here in front of me now. I was aiming at the tank way down there. My reticle, my center of my reticle was above the hill. That hill couldn't have been more than 50 meters in front of me. There's no way the shell should have hit it, and it did. It was just stupid. But, that's World of Tanks. They sit there and say, hey, we are really into tanks. Like that shell right there. I mean, come on now. Really? Just so happens to keep him up there. Not only do I hit his track, do track damage, but I can't even track him. But again, it's, it is what it is, and it's bullshit. He starts turning his turret, so his game's over. That's auto lock because something? Auto lock works just as good as aiming in this game, really. Like right here, you don't see me aim because if I stop and aim, it's probably going to bounce. So just use auto lock. And that's kind of stupid. There was some talk in the forums about it. And, I made my point of, either when you fully aim your gun, the chance of you hitting where you fully aim, as long as it's fully aimed, the chance of hitting the center of your reticle needs to either needs to go up, or auto lock, auto aim needs to deviate a lot more. Because when you can just come around a corner and auto lock and kill tanks, that's more reliable than actually scoping in and aiming at a weak spot. There's a problem with it. There's a problem with that theory, that mechanic of the game. But hey, what do I know? Right? I don't know anything. I don't develop the game. I'm just someone that has a little bit of logic in his head. And just logically, auto lock should not work better than aiming in any instance whatsoever. We get a V for victory, 35,000 silver, 3496 for XP with a multiplier, 2200 damage, 220 assist, and 4,000 blocked. So I'm pretty sure I got a steel wall in there. Maybe. We only end up in third place. Not that great, really. Joe ended up a little bit above me there. One shot for 172 and took out the Chaffee. One shot for 385, 220 assist on the T20. VK 3601, one shot for 375, took out his ammo rack. IS, one shot for 371. T32, 5 shots for 832, took him out of the game. VK 36, one shot for 115. So, yeah, Joe ended up above me with 1400 base XP. I ended up with only 1083 on 3 kills. 18 shots fired, 13 hits, and 10 penetrations. So, it was an average game, really. There's nothing spectacular about this game at all. However, I haven't had any games with Northwest yet, I don't believe, uploaded. And, it was my soapbox, my ranting, venting board here, with auto locks and fully aiming. It's just, I see it as a problem. When you can auto lock on something and it, hits more than 50% of the time, which it does in this game, but then you take a tank and you fully aim in, take your time, fully aim in, and you get track shots, bounce shots, misses the tank constantly. I can't be the only one that thinks that mechanic should be changed. I know medium tankers will get pissy because, auto lock, with light tankers, you can circle of death. But, that just doesn't really happen. It's not even remotely close to reality. Remember, shoot the red ones.